Okay, so as promised, St. John Vianney, he was a priest in Ars, France, and really in I believe, the late 1800s. So he's more of a modern day saint, I guess, in comparison to the rest of the saints, where many of them are much older. But you can still go and see a lot of his his church and a lot of the things that he used even today. So I know Monsignor Glosser, if you know who he is, he's the pastor down in St. Clair, got a chance to do a retreat there. So any questions, just go ask him about it. A great experience, he loved it. St. John Vianney almost flunked out of seminary school. He couldn't learn the Latin. He had a hard time mastering the language. Kind of makes you think that the one that almost failed seminary is now the patron saint of all parish priests. God likes to work like that. He likes to take the impossible and make it possible. So much that it can be said about him. I'm just going to kind of just throw things at you. Remember one of the things when he was first assigned to Ars, France. Again, Ars was this very insignificant town. I don't want to say like Ashland or Frackville, but kind of even below Ashland and Frackville. It was just a very small country type of town. As he was approaching the town, he got lost and he found a little boy who he asked the directions to Ars, and the boy showed him the path, the way to Ars, and he told him, well, you showed me the path to Ars, now I will show you the path of heaven. See, St. John Vianney saw the priesthood as the love of the heart of Jesus. That's kind of like almost the motto associated with him. The priesthood is the love of the heart of Jesus. And his first days there in Ars, he was in the church, in the chapel praying, and one of the townspeople kind of took a peek inside the church to see him in front of the Blessed Sacrament. And when the other townspeople asked him, what's he like? What's our new pastor like? He said he's not like any other pastor. He spent hours in the confessional, 18 to 20 hours a day. People will literally line up outside the church for weeks, traveling hundreds of miles just to go to confession to him. It was said that he had the ability to read souls. I don't have that ability, so don't worry about that, okay? But there was a paragraph today in the Office of Readings, so we priests, we pray the Liturgy of the Hours 5 times a day. There was morning prayer, there's daytime prayer, there's evening prayer, there's night prayer. And then the 5th one's called the Office of Readings. That's really read at any time of the day. I usually read it in the morning along with morning prayer. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of times I just kind of, you read it, but you really don't let it sink in. Especially after 10 years now, you kind of read the same things and you just kind of skim over it. And I was doing that this morning. I was actually thinking about, my mind wandered off. I was thinking about how we're going to, at Marion, social distance the Mass and those types of things. And then I kind of stopped myself and said, let's read it again. And so here's from the Catechetical Instructions of St. John Vianney. I'm just going to read to you the opening paragraph. My little children, reflect on these words. The Christian treasure is not on earth, but in heaven. Our thoughts then ought to be directed to where our treasure is. This is the glorious duty of man. This is important here. So the glorious duty of us to pray and to love. If you pray and love, that is where a man's or woman's, right, happiness lies. I think what really separated St. John Vianney from myself and many other priests is just that love, that deep, that intimate prayer life that he had. Our primary duties, according to him, and I would also say according to church, to our mother church, is to pray and to love. So we ask St. John Vianney that our treasure, our thoughts, be directed towards where our treasure, our true treasure, and our true happiness is. And that unity with God through prayer and through that love of him and our neighbor. May God bless you.